lot while I was at that studio. He loved to come over to your desk, just sit down. Okay, Larry, I want to talk about, like would put, some of his ideas into the game. And, I actually always appreciated that because it's good to have a boss who would walk and be in the trenches as well as, command the guard from the high post. So I just had a lot of respect for him. Obviously, I was a big fan of Dead Space going into that work situation. So, hey, what's up, Glenn? And then he was fun. He kind of battled me a little bit. Remember Extra Life where we were doing like all the fundraising stuff? Mm-hmm. And then he called me out in one of his videos because I did a video, and he was like, "Larry, if you want to do videos, you got to do it right." He's a charming individual. It was fun to work with. Some of the ideas that he put into the game probably cost a lot of work, man hours, and things. But I always know that he believed he was doing his best to push forward the content, to always, try to, I guess, support grand ideas that were going to help the franchise stand out and sell. I will say some people thought it was like a headache from time to time to be like, oh shit, man, we got to do this, and we're like 90% done. But I don't fault him, man. I enjoyed the work experience, and I'm really happy to see what he's doing now. We know that he and Conjure kind of split and are doing their own things separately now. Yeah. So, happy for both of them, but definitely happy for Glenn. I think he's got a lot of creativity. I think he's got a lot of ideas, and with the right people behind him to both work with him, but then maybe also wrangle in some of the like super pie in the sky idealistic goals. Yeah. I think he's going to have, another chance at being successful.
Yeah. It's definitely working with both. I definitely have a preference, but I'm a people watcher. Yeah. So of course I didn't really interact with the bosses as much as you have. I guess you talked to Glenn more than Michael, right? I'm assuming. Overall, it was a great experience at Sledgehammer. Although we complain, we talk. It was, I think, part of the repertoire of being a game developer. Yeah. But overall, my experience at Sledgehammer was that being one of the 3 Call of Duty studios, we were clearly in the front in terms of production value. In production, but also production value, in my opinion. Sure. I feel like we were always on top.
Of course, we're going to say we're the best, but we believe it.
Yeah, it was a very orderly studio, very on time. I think if there were any studio that had to deliver games every 3 years, we were the best in place to do that. We were always able to kind of deliver in those green light meetings when we had the execs coming over. And a lot of that is attributed to Glenn and Michael, right? Yeah. Even though we make fun and we tease. But obviously these two went their separate ways, right?
That was really interesting.
Yeah, without any inside information, it didn't work out, right? It didn't work out. It's like if suddenly Larry and I started our own show, you can pretty much guess what went on. It was not it was not cool.
Welcome to Larry's Games News. Exactly. Same time as Games ReCAP.
Yeah. So these two obviously went their separate ways. Yeah. Glenn created a studio shortly after Michael announced his at 2K Silicon Valley. And, both of them have studios that are housing a lot of developers that we know and love. And so it's always great. They're spreading, instead of just housing everybody in one thing, they have 2 separate studios to kind of build up that area where we feel in the San Francisco area needs a lot of development.
Well, what was sad to me, though, is like we have all these LinkedIn connections, and I just kept seeing like started at 2K Silicon Valley or what I mean? I was like,
everyone's dividing right now.
It's like all these Sledgehammer people were kind of
Sledgehammer is being pulled apart between these 2 studios, and it's a personal choice. Obviously, no one's putting their head to the gun to kind of tell them to leave, right? Yeah. So it's great to have choice for developers, especially in the San Francisco area, which I feel like is fastly disappearing because of the high
cost of living and
Jesus Christ, and just the studio closures that are actually happening a lot in San Francisco. And so let's just start it off by kind of seeing his announcement video that went super viral. I do want to have and point to an admiration. Like Larry and I would love to just come out with a YouTube video, and that's the media. You know what I mean? There's no like prep. There's no me having to go to Kentucky. He's like, hey, I'm gonna talk, and he covers.
Cost of hiring is killing us. Oh, cost of living killing us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From Havoc Reed.
Yeah, you gotta get out of there. Unless you want to work for Glenn.
Well, you know, I've seen the trick is to buy a decent sized SUV and just live in it.
This is
that's the.
I don't know how many times I've been preaching this, right? Yeah. So I've been married pretty much in my 20s.
You better get this right.
She won't right watch this. She won't watch this. You know, I've had a family. Of course, I have to have a house to house that. Yeah. But I often look back, and this is the only time I look back in time, and it's like, if I hadn't, right? How would I live and survive in the San Francisco area? I would have gotten a van. I would have gotten a van that is gutted in and have a bed and everything. Get a nice place that has snacks and shit. Even preferably a shower.
24-hour fitness.
Yeah, and going to 24-hour fitness. I would have done that for the good 5-6 years. And anytime I need to go dating, you know, it would have been a hotel room because I can afford it. But
let's go to your place, man.
Yeah, but like by my age of 30, I would have enough to just
like
pay
a San Francisco house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's saying something.
House. That's how I would have done it if I didn't have this loving thing. That
if you didn't have this reason to want to not do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to do that, I've asked. So let's move on to the video and check this out and watch this together because I don't think I've watched the whole thing myself.
Let me, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me move my face so you can see us react to this.
Shout out Glenn. Can't wait to see what you guys are up to. But let's...
let me change this transition. It's annoying me real quick. All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Glenn Schofield. I'm happy to announce that I've just joined PUBG Corporation as CEO of a new independent game studio called Striking Distance.
Deja vu, right? Deja vu.
Why do you say that?
I mean, how was Sledgehammer formed?
Well, you mean him starting a studio and then like pulling people over?
Well, that, okay. But on top of like taking a Call of Duty franchise where he's known for Dead Space and then kind of bringing a single player component. I think I'm cutting ahead.
Okay, that's cool.
Right, keep going.
Working together to build the studio from the ground up so we can begin crafting an original narrative.
I'm a little upset at who lit Glenn in this video. Because from the front, you actually can't determine the chin.
Say it again.
It's just the photographer in me is like, him lit from the front actually didn't do him a favor.
After a lot of hard work,
you can't distinguish the chin geometry very well, and that's actually not because of him. Because when you show the side, clearly you can see it. But
no, he's got a double chin going.
No. I'm just saying they could have done him a favor by moving whatever light is shining from the bottom slightly a little more offset to the side.
Do you think that brick is part of the studio? Probably, right?
I don't know if he's actually in a location yet or not.
Well, they have a San Ramon studio.
Oh, he did say that at the end. San Ramon, come join us. Okay, then they've got a place. They've got a place. I think
it was ominous like this. This is how I met Schofield when they were doing the promo for Dead Space, and they did a similar type of backdrop.
Okay,
it was supposed to be all dark and horror. Here he is.
Well, what's great about this simple piece of media is like, look, you got a cue card, you get a camera, and a brick wall. Who knows? That could have been done at Kinko's. You know what I mean? Like
he's at his home.
Yeah. His garage.
I were able to ship 3 incredible games. But now I'm looking to take those experiences to explore.
That's actually something we keep forgetting. Sledgehammer did ship like 3 titles.
Yeah. They helped Modern Warfare. They did... or what do you call it? Advanced Warfare, and then World War III. World War II? In World War II, duh. What World War III?
This guy
Where am I?
He left here. Did you work there?
Let me drink some water. I left at that game.
But that's impressive, man. And a lot of people ask us, like, it's not like Schofield did anything wrong at Sledgehammer. I think I enjoyed Glenn the best out of the two. And it was just a guy when we go on a walk and he's like just doodling in the back.
Yeah.
More than doodling, he's doing like legit caricatures.
Oh yeah, I would say he has obviously deep roots on the art side, But then from the creative direction and design standpoint, he puts a lot of time into like developing there. And sure, a lot of his ideas come through the people that actually do more of the work. Like I didn't see Glenn go into Radiant and like start moving stuff around.
No, he's a creative.
But exactly, like he will sit down, throw his feet up, and be like, "Okay, here's a vision. These guys are really strong. I want them to push a bus." And like that's how the push the ambulance came into my level. There was like it was his idea to have them pushing a bus to block bullets and to create moving cover for themselves. But he wanted something like gargantuanly heavy to show like the strength of the exosuits. So that was a Glenn idea that made it through.